Brother Panic, Michael Jackson, and the 13th Code. Bill family, what's the deal? Dreamwise here for another one. Yes, sir. We got to go over what's been happening through this week, or just been what's coming up in my spirit during this past weekend. So, oh boy, hey, this is going to be a fun one. This is one of those that you just got to be in sync, like that 90s white boy group. We're going to get it in, family. We're going to get it in today. I'm going to dive deep into the codes that's been coming through. And yeah, let's have some fun. What's up, Pineapple Sage? What's up, Nat? What's up, Titus? CC was good. King Lamu was good. Dr. Lakeith, versatile. Go down. No, I didn't go see the movie, Titus. I didn't go see it. I was hoping it was coming on one of them free sites, because I heard some interesting things about the movie. And I was like, damn, okay, well, is it worth it to see it? Because, you know, I'm a big Michael Jackson fan. I don't need to be let down by no agenda-driven. Just telling you what it is, baby. Hey, y'all can call me a conspiracy theory if you want. Ha! Straight up and down. Agenda-driven movie to create an energy that kills off an angel. Message. I'm just telling you what it is. So if it's bad, I'm on their ass. Y'all let me know if it's good. If it's good, okay, cool. Smoke a bag of that. But you know what I'm saying, the things that I've been hearing doesn't really send the light of showing Mike in a way that says he's a god on earth. A real living angel that came to earth. Like Disney boy used to have boys passing out, just making a pose like this. It's a freeze pose like this. Just stop it. That nigga Mike crazy, boy. Nigga, if I seen Mike, I probably would have been passing out too, boy. What? When I look at this nigga videos, I be feeling something. Be like, oh shit, what is that? So we gotta be real about it, you know what I'm saying? And you know, then angels just come in and they do their work and they transition and they move on. You feel me? Shout out to my other angel or another goat in Brother Panic, especially since it was his Earthstrong the other day on the 25th, April 25th. So these two brothers have been coming up heavy in this recent weekend. And a lot of people have been talking about this Michael movie. And then obviously Brother Panic, rising in power to both of them. His birthday was this weekend. So, you know, we want to dive deep into the fold of understanding and unlocking what's actually happening and why these two are connected right now. You know, Dream knows. You know, I know. So I'm going to just give y'all the plays and the understanding of this thing. Then we're going to listen to some Panic talking about Michael Jackson. Very, very important. And I remember that live back in the day on the Blog Talk Radio with Brother Rich. Shout out to Brother Rich. Very fire stuff. And you know what I'm saying? And we're going to pull in the transmission because they're basically speaking to us right now. Message. So let's get it on, family. Let's get it on. What's up, C. Wooden? What's good? Leah, what's good? The price is right. Yeah, Dream Truth. Hey, I love that, baby. Dream Truth LLC. I'm the 13th like. Oh, yeah, we got to talk about the 13. Like crazy. What? Hey, it go down. Saint Nero, Cosmic Chris, Speller Jr. What's up? What's up, Bottas boy? What's good? What's up, babe? All right. So now, boom, speaking of the 13, who said that? Dream Truth. Dream wise, baby. Yeah, dream truth. Michael Jackson would have been 67 today, which equals to 13. Brother Panic would have been 58 today, which equals to 13th. Let that marinate, let that sink in. Now, they both transition rather young, right? Michael Jackson transitioned at 50, which is a divine spiritual number for him to transition at 50, especially if we're dealing with the chakra system and we know every 7 years you're going up another level to the chakra. And at 49 is the crown chakra, and then 50 he transitions, right? Michael Jackson. And then Brother Panic transitioned at 55, which is a master double number. And it was just absolutely, transformational time when he transitioned, especially him, just knowing he's the death coach. These gods, these goats, these angels came down here to do their specific work, and they did it. They accomplished it. And we got to show kudos to them for following their hero's journey, for following their purpose, their journey. And I'm going to give y'all some plays on to how to follow and sync up with your higher self and your journey. Message. Because that's all that this illusionary world is about, baby. I'm just telling y'all what it is. A lot of times we're falling victim to the distraction. We're falling victim to the earth realm. We're falling victim to the 12. Remember, the 12 is the zodiacal trap that we're trapped in, the circle of time. And the 12 puts you in a human mindset. This human mindset is you being encapsulated by the demiurge. The demiurge is nothing but your ego, your egoic self. And this egoic self essentially keeps you in locked in this world, just in this third dimensional construct. See, what we want to do and move into is being the 13. Like these brothers are officially celebrating this year, their 13 energy. And that 13 is outside of the circles of time, outside of the illusionary construct, outside sitting on top of the world, right? And a lot of times what happens is we kind of fall victim to the earth because we are the feeling people. So in us being the feeling people, essentially the feelings get the best of us, right? And then all of our attention and our focus moves into numbing these feelings, right? But feelings are a way to understand yourself deeper, whether it be anger, whether it be pain, whether it be frustration, whether it be happy, joy. All of those particular feelings are a signal to understand yourself deeper and to move into your true self, your higher self communication. So you want to think about your feelings. I get it. It's tough because, you're having this human experience. And when you feel angry, you just want to tear stuff up. When you feel mad, you want to just react. But how can you channel that energy into something driven, your Heru's driven purpose? You can do it, family. Because why can you do it? Because melanin is the 0 point, and melanin is chaos. And that chaos is essentially your ability to create out of the feelings. So a lot of times we feeling stressed out, right? And we don't know that our melanin will activate that particular stress and turn it into energy for us to create in that moment. But if we just fall victim to the stress, the anxiety, the fear, right, then essentially we'll just be stuck in a shell of ourselves. Sometimes you just got to have action, right? And that action will put you in a state of creative sphere, creation. So, for instance, you remember, right? Y'all used to do this all the time. You studying for, or you didn't study for a test, right? Or let's say a project, right? You had a project due the next day. You had 2 months to finish this project. You waited till the last 3 days to finish this project. The last 2 days, you've taken your time finishing this damn project. You know you've been had this project due. The last day, fuck it. You putting stuff together, you making it happen because you ain't trying to get held back. you ain't you ain't trying to be, you know what I'm saying, stuck in another grade or or not even graduate out of that class or whatever, right? Cool. All your focus, all your energy, all your attention goes into creating this project out of thin air. In a day, in a few hours, even if you get somebody else to do it, you creatively spundulate into chaos mode, which is a 0 point, which is the magic that you have inside of you. So I want the family to understand that when you do feel these anxiety pressures, this fear, if you move into it, if you channel into it, you could create something for you, something beautiful and magical for you. Message. I'm just telling y'all what it is. Y'all know I did a whole thing on that back in the day in the Mystic Mind Conference. The Mystic Mind Conference. Speaking of conferences, baby, Dream Wise, D. Ray Wise, Brother Yosef, Roger Martin, 8-8, Lionsgate, baby. It go down, it go down. Flyers are coming soon. More information coming soon. Dallas, Texas, stand up. We in the building. So get your tickets and popcorn ready, baby, because we bring in some high advance spiritual gnosis on self-love and relationships to Dallas, Texas on the Lionsgate. And you know we coming with that work. Y'all see more of it this week. Y'all see a lot more of it. So they both would have turned 13. They both would have been in their 13 frequency this year, right? So shout out to the gods, right? And we got to just understand that that 13 is outside of the circle of time or outside of the illusionary construct, right? You are stuck in time, right? When we're thinking about being outside of the circle of time, we're thinking about something more advanced. We're thinking about speaking to our higher self. You feel me? Our higher self is a byproduct of our soul. So essentially, when you're in alignment and in congruent with your stream of consciousness or your higher self, essentially you'll know the next place to run and how to move next. Because you're following a guiding light that leading you to your vision desire. Now, what happens is sometimes we program our higher self with low vibrational frequencies. And if you don't choose the frequency consciously, then somebody's going to choose it for you, i.e. the powers that be, i.e. your boss, your government, and all of that. You feel me? See, these people are trying to bait you into say, yeah, this is what we're offering you. And when you accept that offer, you accept that idea, whether it comes in the form of stereotypes, whether it comes in the form of a job opportunity, right? Whether it comes in the form of media manipulation. When you accept these narratives about your skin color or your gender and all of that stuff, right? And even your religions and all of that, essentially you're accepting a reality that they're giving you. So now you can be victim and fall victim to low vibrational frequencies for it. And then you can be stuck in a rat race in a circle of time dealing with the same narratives that doesn't serve you. You can accidentally synchronize with struggle. you can accidentally synchronize yourself with low vibrational behaviors. You can accidentally synchronize yourself with pain over and over and over again. Y'all know that person that you always talk about, oh, I'm just hurting, it just hurts. I'm just so sad. Like, God damn. Gotta change your synchronicity, baby. God damn. What's up, Jasleen? What's up, Michelle? K Smith, what's good? What's good? What's good? Cosmic Chris, what's up? The Alchemist Empress, check. What's good? Be Cunny. All right, so let me play this Panic video so we can go deeper into the fold, because Panic did a powerful transmission with Brother Rich. And back in the day when when Mike transitioned, and saying he dropped a lot of heavy information that I feel is prevalent for us right now, especially since these two have been coming up this weekend. So check it out.
Questions, and then we're gonna go into the whole Michael Jackson transmission that Brother Panic experienced. I know everybody wants to know about that. We're gonna get to that in a little while. I wanted to ask you, Brother Panic, and me and you talked about this before, as far as when you're receiving these spiritual transmissions, do you think they could get lost or misinterpreted due to the restraints of the English language? Being that we speak this English language, I mean, when they communicate with us, is it hard to communicate it with somebody because of this language that we speak?
Nah, I mean, there's really no restraints in it. I notice people say there's restraints on the language each time they fuck up a word.
Yeah.
They talk. They're not talking in English. They're not talking in Metaneta or none of that shit. They're talking in symbols. So it's up to you to interpret the symbols. Now, if the transmission, I'll be more than happy, like I will with the Michael Jackson, to say what I was shown and what I came up with. And I also say, well, you may come up with something else. Knock yourself silly, because a picture tells 1,000 words. So if anything, more than the English language, I would say the brain would be more of the handicap, the human brain.
Okay.
So why can't these people or other people have these realizations? And mind you, it's not just me. I mean, I have, as the day is long, over at least, 75 the people who share in this with me. Channels, joint channels, same dreams the same night. You name it, I have a phenomenon for your ass every week. You feel what I'm saying?
So what Panic is essentially talking about is, like, we have the superpower inside of us that can channel in information from others on the other side or from our higher self. Now, it's important for us to understand how our higher self or people on the other side communicate. They communicate to you in the form of symbols and feelings. And these feelings will come in your dreams. So sometimes you will interpret the feeling as something that you're going through, but it's really your grandma going through that. So your grandma will show you or make you feel fear inside of you because she's trying to communicate something to you heavily. And she's showing you in the form of these symbols, right? And it's up to you to interpret it and then do the alchemical transformational work to help her understand what this other side is. So a lot of times when I'm talking about lucid dreaming, I'm talking about changing your ancestors or changing people on the other side in the astral realms, understanding of what's happening when they fall victim to the reincarceration cycle. What happens is their awareness and their consciousness is not there. So they're stuck in a mind, in a mind that doesn't serve their ascension. It serves their reincarceration from being a light vibrational being, and their heart not being light as a feather, basically not being constructed in just the human form, so heavy on human, right? So they fall victim to come back and do this thing again. When you can actually help them by you actually doing your work, you actually doing your big one, right? And transferring your whatever and transferring your thoughts and your belief system to them, right? Based off of you're a light being as well. So they'll feel you and they'll see you when you are in your work in your bag. But if you're still stuck in the human so much, then they don't believe you. Essentially, they're just like, okay, well, this nigga human too. Shit, he worried about the bills, worried about survival mode, worried about his problems and stuff like that. How the fuck is this nigga gonna help me? Matter of fact, I don't even see him because his vibration is so dense. He's an earth dweller. So when we're talking about the 13, we're talking about thinking outside of the box. We're going to get back to panic. Check it out. When we're talking about the 13, we're talking about getting outside of the circles of time. There's a good book, Kenneth Grant, The Circles of Time. Outside of the circles of time, right? And getting outside of this thing we call the earth realm or the contraption or this dome that we're in. And essentially what happens is when you do get outside of the circles of time, now you're in sync with your higher self. So your sync, I'll go get this book, Sync. And this book is essentially just about how everything falls into an order. Out of chaos comes order, right? So essentially what happens in sync is what they're saying in the book is that your cells all sync up together, right? So one does this and then the other one does that. And now it's just making a harmonious idea in your reality, which makes you move in a particular way. So now that's the microcosm of it. I'm trying to give y'all a fast rendition of this. So then the macrocosm will be like we all start saying the same slang words or something like that. You feel me? Like how the fuck somebody in Houston is saying the same slang words as somebody in New York? Well, because we're catching the rhythm, the pattern, right? And now we're all synced to that reality and idea in this illusionary construct. So that's a quick rendition of what the sync is. Now, you can sync with your higher self when you get out of the human. And I'm going to go a lot over that in Wise Wednesday and how to do it, right? I've done it based off of me constantly, repetitively doing the work and then falling into a space of saying, oh shit, I did it. I remember the first time it started really coming online. And I was like, damn, okay, this shit coming on heavy. I'm in PE class. I was a PE teacher, right? And we was doing, I think they were doing like the STAR test. So I had all the kids in the gym and stuff like that. So, hey, it's movie time, baby. Hey, put on a movie and let these kids watch it. So one of these Disney movies I put on for them, I've seen a million times. And I'm like, damn, what the fuck? This is actually a spiritual movie. I'm sitting here watching Aladdin with them saying, damn, this is spiritual to the bitch. Watching Moana with them, like, oh shit. So that whole 2 months, something was unlocking in me. And I was just starting to pick up on the signs and symbols. But right before that, I was writing all my spiritual stuff down in my phone. I was typing it in my phone. As I was at the job, as I was going to the grocery store, all of that. So I'm seeing spiritual stuff and I'm training my mind to constantly see spiritual stuff. And then guess what happens? I sync with my higher self.
Message.
And now when I see particular movies, shows, and things like that, I instantly just see the symbology in it. I instantly just see behind the scenes, the background programming that they're trying to show us or that spirit is trying to show us. Because a lot of times these people or these producers don't even know what they're doing. And essentially what happens is If you have a spiritual eye for it, you can see past the veil and see how spirit is communicating to you thoroughly. So we got to understand that this is about you tapping into your synchronization and being in sync with your higher self.
Message.
Very, very important to understand.
Jackson is phenomenal to others, but this was just another transmission for me. And in fact, I had to go back to remember what it was he said. You get what I'm saying? And at the same time, other people sharing this experience. So it's way beyond just, you know what I mean? It's just way beyond that. So, you know, it's not, like I said, it's the symbols, it's your best understanding. So what the intellect serves there, where the intellect serves there, and that's why we, when we went to sleep, commissioned white people to make all these books about ancient shit, because you must satisfy the intellect to move on. So based upon my early intellectual pursuit, I go back after the symbols are there, and then I could rely on my intellect pursuit, which was the foundation that got me into the next level. Then I could go back to my intellect and interpret the symbols based upon my study, as opposed to my interpretation. If it was for me, it's for my interpretation. But something like Mike is something that's supposed to tell the world. So I'll say what he said, then I'll say what I decoded it. If you see something else, by all means. You get what I'm saying? So that comes from me studying the mythology, the Gnosticism, Kabbalah, voodoo, quantum realities, psychic work, you name the science, books from the floor to the ceiling. The difference is I knew that was the foundation to go someplace else. That's not the ceiling on who I am. I'm drowned in books, but that's not the ceiling on what we are, to experience it. So once you experience it, because we went to sleep to these things, that's where this intellect becomes so important. It then begins to shape with the restraints of the brain, and you could even say the restraints of English if you want. The restraints of these things that you've been degraded to, the intellect now comes into play as a servant for you to understand what you just got from the ethers.
Okay, so what Panic said, which I can break down real quick, is your higher self whispers to you in symbols. It literally is a subtle language that you have to interpret for yourself with your intellect, with your brain power, just based off of you're in this constructed intellectual world we call the third dimension, we call the school systems and all of that. And essentially, the repetition factors of what you're seeing on a daily basis and what you've been programmed with, your higher self will communicate to you in that divine way so it can get the information to you thoroughly. So, for instance, I tell people this all the time. Whenever I have a dream about me playing basketball, I know basketball represents prosperity for me, abundance for me. So if I'm playing basketball and I'm playing rather meek, then essentially my prosperity, my abundance is going to be rather low on the third dimension, right? If I'm playing real strong and aggressive, then, hey, I'm doing my thing. I'm about to turn up with something. You feel me? So now I have the ability to interpret that basketball dream over and over and over again as abundance, as prosperity, based off of my internal language of what basketball meant to me. And you have the same idea, family. You know what I'm saying? God speaks in patterns before he speaks in words or paragraphs or the English language, like y'all want to call it. Hell nah. So, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times we just have to get out of our own way. And I'm going to do something on Wise Wednesday so I can show y'all all the things that I've done to tap into my higher self, to understand my higher self from another cosmic level, from another stream. Row your boat gently down the stream of consciousness. Y'all leave questions if y'all have some, family. Leave questions if y'all have some. We must we set that specific intention, or as we do our work in general, it helps them overall. Ask me that again, Jasleen. Ask me that again. Must we set that specific intention, or as we do our work in general, it helps them overall? Oh, you talking about with the ancestors in them? Yeah, no, as you're doing your work, as you're doing your spiritual work, essentially what happens is they start receiving the light codes and information. Because again, remember, you're a vibrational pitch. So now with your vibration changing, then they change. So when you raise your higher self vibration, now essentially they can feel and resonate with that vibration because y'all are DNA locked, third dimensional locked. There's a good book called um there's a good book called Gene Codes. Is it Gene Codes? Gene Codes. You feel me? Where essentially these genes in your body is coded to, you know what I'm saying, your family members in them, right? In this particular incarnation. So you're actually saving people by doing your spiritual work. Now, the aspect of them being able to accept that before they come back into a human brain is on them. You feel me? I got that book somewhere. But essentially, you just gotta, you know what I'm saying, keep doing you. And essentially, one of the biggest aspects is you're gonna change your family's bloodline as well. Because essentially, one thing we gotta understand is sex, or the creation of sex, is a cosmic building computer. So now essentially that light on the sperm, right, and then that egg being impregnated is creating a God being if you're able to cultivate that chi energy. You feel me? And chi is just spirit. So essentially you're cultivating spiritual wisdom for somebody to come down here and play with in this particular third dimension. But it's up to you to actually do the work and understand that your emotions can't get in the way. So whenever you do your chakra work and you raise your level of consciousness to another godhood, now you're actually changing your lineage and your family's generation just by you doing the work. And then, you know what I'm saying, they'll just keep going and going and going, right? So essentially you have to do you, because some people ain't gonna make it. Some of our old hats, they just ain't gonna make it, right? And their soul has to come back and try again. But essentially with you doing your work, you can transform your ancestors if they didn't already come back into a baby brain, or you can transform your lineage that, you know what I'm saying, you having with these kids and stuff.
Message.
All right, let's keep it rolling. Let's play some more of this Panic real quick, and then he's going to get into
Dr. Crazy would say, that genetic memory bank. So what you got out of that, the intellect then starts to give it form and shape, and you use the best deduction. If it don't make sense, then don't do it. I'm looking for people to say, that shit makes a lot of sense. Or, you know something, and most of the time when it's happening, somebody will also have something to add on based upon their intellectual pursuit. You feel me? So that's how it's done. This was seen, and I've seen this, that, the other. Sometimes I can't figure it out. And I'll share with others, and they'll figure it out. Oh, you know something? I read a book. I read this. I read that. Now, for instance, here's some show and prove shit for your ass. There's a sister, Lakshmi was coming through. There's a whole thing with Lakshmi. There's another sister who channels, Kanisha. I told her, you actually know her. She says she knows you. She comes by your table. Next time she's by, I tell her to identify herself to you. She's a sister Oshun, Kanisha. I said, find Lakshmi, blah, 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 blah. She goes to sleep, comes back. There's a Lakshmi that came, but there's a singing Lakshmi, something about Lakshmi with music, and there was a new divine, there was this divine marriage, and Lakshmi. I said, I have no idea what the fuck you talking about. A couple of weeks later, Michael Jackson dies, and he's Vishnu as well, the husband of Lakshmi. So this singing Lakshmi now marries this Mike. So you use your intuition, your best judgment, and you understand these things come into play. You have to be there. See, what people are looking for is how they're intellectually satisfied. And that's how we open up the show.
Okay, so I got to say this because that's very, very important what Panic just said. So now, and I know this is a lot, but y'all can stay with me and y'all got this. you can sync. You're in sync with everybody, or with the people that's in your environment, because this is a mirrorverse, right? Cool. So now, with you being in sync with the people that comes into your environment, right? Essentially, it creates a vibration. So you can be in sync with low vibrational people, or you can be in sync with high vibrational people. Cool. Now, we had did this in a Patreon a few years ago. My brother Joel, my bro guy Joel, right? I'm in the Patreon. We in the book club, right? Diving deep, talking, whatever, right? Michael Jackson. Something happened with Michael Jackson, and no, something was happening with monkeys and Michael Jackson and all this other stuff. Cool, right? This nigga Joel has a dream about Michael Jackson and something, and instantly, and no, he had a dream about Michael Jackson and some monkeys or something like that, right? Cool. Nigga, I said, oh my God, nigga, you done did it. That's Hanneman. That's it. So now, because we're in each other's frequency, right? Talking, building, vibing. Now, all of a sudden, the synchronicity happens. Now, all of us are ping-ponging ideas off of each other, which then creates a new reality for us to then carry out that mission if we so choose. So I did I did Hanneman and Michael Jackson for like 3 months, 3 years ago. You feel me? Based off of this nigga's dream. So that means, and you got to get off of the, logical aspirations of this thing, right? Because that's just a school program. That means that we created a whole new understanding based off of him getting the channel, and then us interpreting Michael Jackson as Hanneman, which is a Christ figure, which is basically you moving into your Heru journey. So it was a lot of different synchronicity stuff that was happening, and showing the monkeys, the monkey god. I think the movie Hanneman came out that year. That movie Nope came out, and it was about, and the monkey came at the beginning and was like, yep, there you go. It was a lot, even the number of the years, everything was syncing up thoroughly. You feel me? So now even the people in your reality is going to be in sync. Even the dead people in your reality. They might say something and you be like, oh shit, that's it. You feel me? Because again, they still have the mechanisms to tap into spirit. So it doesn't matter if you have dead people around you, right? Your psi energy can pull into them and they can say something real random that you needed to hear.
Message.
I'm just telling y'all what it is. So you stay with that idea of this thing and why, you know what I'm saying, why it's important for us to understand how synchronization works and just speaking to our higher self works. This is not one thing, right? And again, the people in your reality is a mirror to you and what you're vibrating with, whether it be low vibrational or high vibrational. So now it's up to you to do your spiritual work, come into your own profound state, and be able to pay attention to the synchronicity, like Panic is saying with this Michael Jackson build, and be able to understand what your next move needs to be.
You have to have a more holistic approach to it with end-time events. And it's the thing you have to do where you become the knower. How do you know? I just know. They're looking for the intellect, you know what I'm saying? And they're looking for something to satisfy them. Well, here's the book. Here. We got enough books. How do you know? I just know. And
I just know. Yep.
Yeah, I know. You want to get you become the knowers. The Egyptians were knowers, not wanderers or thinkers. There was a sister who said, y'all, I seen this statue of the thinker. You know, that classic pose where the niggas thinking. I think of it. I thought of you. I said, don't give me that bullshit. I'm not trying to be the thinker. I'm trying to be the knower. And that's even the science, even when that's in William Henry's book. When Jesus is that classic finger pointing up in the air, it's saying that's a symbol of him being the knower. And he is pointing up because that's where he became the knower, by looking to his higher self. That's how he became the knower. So you're supposed to be the knower. And even Bruce Lee dropped that shit in Enter the Dragon. He said, look at the finger. Nigga was looking at the finger, smacked the shit out of him. He said, if you concentrate on the finger, you're going to miss all the glory of the moon. So now, when you that was still symbolic, and still if you concentrate on Jesus, you're going to miss all the glory of where his shit is coming from, which is why he points up. So if you concentrate on the intellect, you're going to miss all the glory of your true self. You get what I'm saying? There's no, you got, let's get this straight. I don't tell you my channels and say do that because I channeled it. Never said that. You get what I'm saying? You need to do this, you need to do that. Any form I spread this, well, this is what I discovered. You do what you need to do. I've always been, follow me based upon I got a channel and that's what it is. No, that's silly. That's folly. This shit is for me and for me alone. My own realizations. You get what I'm saying? And if you want to hear, because even this channel shit that Mike gave me is technically for me, but people want to hear it. This is for me to get my knowledge, not for me to enlighten your ass based upon my fucking work. I'm telling you to do your work, and not only that, I've been telling motherfuckers how to do their work, what I did. So that's the reality here. Get your asses moving. You get what I'm saying? Get your asses moving. Stop asking me, how authentic it is, and go authenticate the shit yourself, lazy nigga. Lazy nigga. You know what I mean? I see this lazy shit all the time. What book could I get? I just told you 30 books on Miss Blue show. Yeah. Go back and listen to the show. Just want to hear me say something. A sermon.
Like,
you know what I'm saying?
Like you said, the time we in now, you just got to know it. Sometimes it won't be in a book.
Exactly. It won't be in a book. Where do you think the information came from in the first place? Where do you think the Egyptians were getting what they got? From the ethers, nigga. There's nobody, who you ask an Egyptian, well, where'd you get that from? Show and prove. I got it from, nigga.
Hey, there you go. Where did they get it from? They didn't get it from there you go. Yeah.
So I knew something was divine, especially with Michael Jackson, that Mike movie coming out, and then Panic's birthday falling in the same weekend. I'm like, oh shit, okay, something is definitely happening. So I went back and looked at it, and sure enough, they both represent the 13 right now, right here, right now. Mike would have been 67, which equals a 13. Panic would have been 58, which equals to 13. And they both transitioned on divine numbers. So now, naturally, we have to do with this information as we shall do, which is getting out again of the circles of time. See, when we're talking about getting out of the circles of time, we're talking about thinking past the human vortex that we're trapped in with the ego, with the emotionalism, with the distractions of the day, with what is Donald Trump doing? Oh, they tried to do this, right? We need to be able to think outside of the box and have creative endeavors for our Hebrews journey. Because if we don't, essentially we're just falling victim to the 12, which is the human. So right now, especially in the zeros in 1 year, this 10 year, right? You must become the middle point, which is the 13. You feel me? Remember the movie, The 13th Floor. This whole movie was about getting outside of the circles of time. It was about escaping the matrix. It was about seeing past the veil of the illusion. So is that no damn coincidence? Mike would have been a 13 and Panic would have been a 13.
Message.
Let's keep it rolling.
Are you nigga? I am that nigga that returned to do the same shit that the ancients did. I took this shit seriously.
Yeah.
Said we are this and we are that and we are the first this. I took this shit seriously. and said, if they could do it, and we are that, we got all this fucking melanin we like to talk about, what does it mean? This is what it means. You know what I'm saying? I am the show and prove, nigga, that you looking for. I'm the proof you're looking for. And I'm the same proof telling you the methodology to get into it. I'm the proof. So
that nigga Panic be talking a lot of shit, boy. God damn. Yeah, nigga, it's me, nigga. You got me fucked up. I'll show you, telling you what it is, dog. Panic had that shit, boy. He on that shit for real. And again, like I was telling y'all last video, you can tap into Panic right now, and he'll come through. You just got to put some heart in it. You got to really want it. You feel me? Shit. Even thinking about Panic and Michael Jackson right now would be a powerful time to tap in and see what comes through with both of them. Drink you a Pepsi, right? Remember, Mike got his hair caught on fire. That's the crown chakra. Drink you a Pepsi. Panic used to drink them Pepsis. Drink you a Pepsi and go to sleep, and then see which one comes through, Mike or Panic.
Message.
I'm just telling y'all what it is, baby. I can't make it up. Right now is a powerful time to tap into what? The 13. And the 13 is outside of the circles of time. Let's keep Panic rolling real quick.
penny ante questions. You know, niggas standing on the corner buying DVDs, asking this shit. We got to stop thinking that this is some sort of thing we should be doing. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Age of Pisces is the age of the believer. That's why the church ruled. The age of Aquarius is the age of the Noah. We in the age of Aquarius right now. You're going to get left behind if you ain't the Noah, nigga. You get what I'm saying? You got to become the Noah.
Okay, remember the knower is based off of you doing your work. So a lot of times people will say, yeah, I'm a knower, but they haven't did no work. So the only way you know is based off of you actually trying something and then saying, oh, okay, now I know what sun gazing is. Okay, now I know what grounding is. Okay, now I understand what an hour meditation does for me instead of a 10-minute meditation.
Message.
See, what I'm saying is, I get it. You know, people got jobs, people got children, people is looking at this spiritual thing as, I just don't know. What I'm telling you is you're working backwards. If you concentrate on the spiritual stuff, then your higher self is going to make it easier for you to get into your spiritual bag, to do your spiritual work, because it's going to free up time for you to make amends to do your chakra work, to understand that, right? But you got to start. You got to be the first plug, because if you're constantly repetitively telling yourself, hell, I don't know, I just don't have enough time. Well, your higher self is just saying like, all right, well, I guess we're just in this confused state, this dazed state. Your higher self is trying to communicate to you thoroughly over and over and over again. But you have to break out of the ego demiurgic ways to get to the information. Your higher self, God, speaks in patterns. It speaks in the thing y'all call coincidences. It speaks in repeated symbols or things that feel random. So we got to understand that to the core. You can channel. You just have to get out of your own way.
You got to trust in yourself. You got to trust in yourself. The Sister Blue told me she had a big, powerful revelation where herself came to herself and said the words, trust in consciousness, or faith in consciousness. I said, that's powerful. We talked for about an hour just on that alone. You have, all this consciousness is here, but no one seems to have faith in it. Did you ever notice that, Rich? Everything, you got a whole table full of shit, but everyone is always want to question or debate or argue some shit. No one has faith in this consciousness that we got this shit. We the Kamites, Amun Ra, and we built the pyramids, and we used to do this, and we could talk telepathically and walk through walls and walk on water, but then niggas want to just question, well, I don't think what Phil said in this particular thing, and I don't think what Bobby said on this particular, I didn't agree. It's like, motherfucker, stop that shit already. Become the Noah. There not saying, I mean, you tell me, what do you have to offer? What have you discovered besides something that was given to you and told you this is it? What have you discovered?
This is it. Michael Jackson, baby. Michael Jackson.
Message.
No, look, a lot of times what happens is peer pressure gets the best of a lot of us. So the peer pressure, somebody will say, nah, nigga, that ain't real. And then you start, oh, okay, well, I guess. Because their body is fit into the human. Now you're listening to somebody that's human and you're a God. You're in your God frequency. So now, even with the spiritual people or these conspiracy people, right? They'll say one thing and you'll start questioning what you've been seeing in your mind's eye. You have to get out of the looking for somebody to give you the answer and understand that all the answers are within you. Your truth is your truth. And in order to live in your truth, you must trust and believe in yourself. That's the whole idea of what the Heru is. The hero is. Hanuman, the Christ figure, that's Heru, right? Krishna, the Christ figure, that's the hero in you. So you're living out these mythologies in the form of energy signatures inside of you. Neo, the one getting out of the matrix, right? You're the one to get out of the matrix. So you have to put on your big boy draws and say, I trust in what I'm feeling and what I'm seeing. And I'm going to move with that. And then guess what's going to happen? It's going to get louder and louder and louder.
Message.
Especially when you're in your meditation. Damn, what happened to me today? I just meditated on something and I said, oh, that's it. Oh, I know what it was. Okay, bet. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And it'd be subtle like that. It'd be real subtle. Sometimes you have to get out of your meditation and write the stuff down so you don't forget it. Oh, shoot. Hold on, wait. Let me see. Where was I at? Okay.
The energy and energizing it.
Right. You know what I'm saying? You know, I can't even listen to this shit no more. So all of that to say, you know what I mean? You are what you feel you are. If you are under them and you are a slave, hell yeah, nigga, you a slave. Melanin is under your command. You fish your wish. So you a slave with all that melanin? Hell yeah, nigga, you a slave, nigga. And I'm willing to have you come sweep up my house. I'm willing to have you come sweep up my house if that's what you choose to use your melanin for. I choose to have greater realizations. You get what I'm saying? You'll be around this motherfucker all day worrying about what they're going to do with the dollar bill. You know, what they're going to do, you know, what they're doing with these goddamn injections. And, you know, it's a bunch of folly. You know what I'm saying? It's there to throw you off your track.
Mm-hmm. I heard you say one time, I don't know whose show you were on, you were saying if they got to come up with 45 different things to try to stop you, then obviously 44 of those things didn't work.
Right. Did not work. You know what I mean? There's always a new speaker with a new thing. Why a new thing? If the last thing you said was you was just so worried, so and all, you had your head and slammed your fist talking about goddamn the microchip biology, whatever. Now, when you talk about a new goddamn thing, what happened to the last thing that they just had? Right. You get what I'm saying? You know, what's the last time they just said? The earth is over. Our time is up. It's a wrap here. You got to realize how many billions of years you have been here. And you want to be here some more? That's on you. Knock yourself silly. You know what I'm saying? Knock yourself silly. We trying to get up out of here. I'm not trying to hear the story of a rat in the corner trying to survive. And he don't even have no weapons. I told you this before. Remember the nigga that comes to school with the karate slippers on and the karate suit? We thought this nigga was ill. But all he ever had was a fucking karate suit and karate slippers. And it was nothing else. No skill, no nothing. You the one constantly, you know, we got melanin, we got this, we got that. But what they got is you under mind control, nigga. We got melanin, we still the slaves and all that this kind of, and they still doing it. No, that's where they winning. That's where they winning. But no, that's where they winning with you personally. If you think that, so be it. If you think that, so be it. Knock yourself silly. Knock yourself silly. There's a whole reality that's waiting to be realized. Whoever decides to realize it. Whoever decides to realize it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, enough with them. You know what I'm saying? I'm even tired of telling motherfuckers how phony that shit is at this point. You know what I'm saying?
Let me just
Well, what Panic is basically saying right here is that, you know, these people, these conspiracy theory people, these people that keep on constantly, repetitiously telling you about what the powers that be is doing, that's an illusionary thing. It's not real. It's not impacting your energy. You're impacting your energy because you're the one true God. So you can believe it all you want. And what is belief? The lie you're telling yourself. So you're telling yourself a lie to feel comfortable. You're saying to yourself, yeah, these people got me. And what Panic just said was that shit is mind control. That shit is a construct of you magically giving them power to serve your greater or serve you in a reality that doesn't actually serve you in your comfortable state, because you're comfortable with the fear tactics. You're comfortable with somebody doing something to you. You're comfortable playing defense. You're not in your power zone if you're not playing offense. You got to be an offensive player in this thing. You feel me? Like, if you're constantly, repetitively playing defense, how are you going to score? And that's where they got you. That's where they got you in the mind control. You got to relieve yourself of any kind of agenda. Just imagine if you was born in England or something, or just imagine if you was born in Jamaica or Brazil. Would you be worried about Donald Trump and them right now? Hell no, you probably would never hear about that shit. God damn. So again, attention goes where energy flows. So now if you give yourself if you constantly give yourself that attention, then essentially that's what you are. Because you are nothing but a ball of energy first.
we're about to get into the whole MJ transmission now. Let me just read something briefly that you wrote in a blog that you sent to me that's dealing with what we're talking about now. And you said that most of the conspiracy theories are made up and put out for the reason of trapping the soul. They know Michael Jackson is now outside of his body and is far more dangerous at this point than he could ever be trapped as a human. So they need to do what they can to slow the process of his true rise. They put these conspiracy stories out as an act of war, and here we go, supposed to be conscious and know-it-alls, and the first ones to fall for the third-grade bullshit trick of distraction. Furthermore, what also kills me is this: if we all laws of attraction now, and Oprah's even on this level, the secret book, nothing precedes a thought, and everything that is happening to you here is based on your on magnetic thoughts, including the way you decide to leave the planet. If he was killed by what or whoever, this was his choice, still based on the metaphysics people claim to have studied and be teaching you. Wow, that's deep.
Everyone's been teaching you the laws of attraction, that nothing precedes a thought. Every thought is controlled by you. You create your own reality. Like it or love it. There's nothing in the universe that sees as a good or evil. They give it to you. So even your way to die, based upon that science, laws of attraction that everybody's into, is the way you chose to die. So if you got trampled by elephants, a safe got dropped on your head, or whatever, that based upon the laws of attraction, that's how it's done. So the doctor could have killed them. The Illuminati, a nigga emailed me, and then was mad when I kicked this motherfucker off my goddamn friend list. You like everybody else in Babylon, you know, because I kicked him on my friends list. He said Michael Jackson was supposed to get on stage and reveal Illuminati secrets and things about the future. I said, nigga, come on, what, between Thriller and Billie Jean? Wait a minute, let me tell you about the Illuminati. You know what I'm saying? If this nigga was scared to fight this kid who he didn't fuck, he was scared and paid those people off, and then the kid came out and said, Mike never fucked me. He was scared and folded like a cheap armchair under that pressure. So you mean to tell me Mike's gonna get on stage and start dropping Illuminati science in between Billie Jean and Beat It? Do people ever even think? You know, let's use some common sense. It's not. It makes me think Mike turning white and cutting off his nose, he wasn't crazy. These niggas is crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Now I ain't gonna lie, Mike almost went. He had an interview where he was about to go, but something like pushed him back. He was about to go. He was about to say some shit, but something pushed him back. And I think right now, especially during this time, especially this weekend, right? With Mike, this Mike movie coming out, and I haven't seen it, so I'm still going to have to see it. But the stuff that I've been hearing is them not serving Mike as the supreme being that he is in the movie. So now there's a generation of kids that might watch this movie and interpret Mike as, no shade to Usher, but like a Usher figure or something like that. Or like, a Neo figure. I'm so sick of love songs, so tired and blue. So there's a whole generation of kids, right? These YNs, these young kids that might interpret Mike as, oh, he was just, oh, okay, they're making a movie of like it was Neo. You feel me? Dare I even say Chris Brown? Even though Chris Brown he close. But he's not Mike. Mike is something like, ooh, like, oh shit. What the fuck was that? Like a comic going by. You feel me? So that's what I've been hearing about the movie. Y'all let me know in the comments if it is that where they're trying to downplay him as a human. They're trying to create the energy of him being a human. And we know that Mike created Never Neverland Ranch to bring the kids to play instead of them going to an island, Epstein Island, to get abused.
Message.
So now all of a sudden, and this is what I'm saying, us melanated people got to see past the tricks. If I see this movie and they downplayed him like he wasn't that nigga, that he wasn't him. Him ain't even the appropriate word. You can't even say him. You got to say like God. That's it. The only thing you can say is chaos being Michael Jackson. Archangel Michael. You can't even put him into words. Like I'm saying, he used to freeze at attention and people used to pass out. Oh, Mike. Just used to stop. What? That's some God shit. What? People couldn't wait to see Mike. People couldn't. What? Goddamn. This Mike, Michael Jordan, and Mike Tyson. There's something with that Mike energy that we got to understand to the core. There ain't no coincidence. You feel me? Anybody named Michael in here, I'm pretty sure you got something in you that's a star. I'm just telling y'all what it is. We got to look into it even deeper sometimes than just a surface level thing. So if they created or painted the narrative of Michael Jackson being like just like he was just like like a Usher. Like Usher or something like that. He was big, but he wasn't like, no, this nigga was out of this world, outside of the circles of time. That's Michael Jackson.
These niggas is crazy. Michael's gonna get on stage. Hold up, stop the music. Did y'all know that the Illuminati has been putting chemtrails in the air for years? All right, turn it back on. Dirty Diana. You know what I mean? What the fuck kind of sense to me? I was like, nigga, you off my friends list. I'm tired of explaining that type of shit. You get what I'm saying? I'm tired of explaining that. You're like everybody else in Babylon. I'm like, then goddamn it, so be it.
Mm-hmm. Now,
so yeah,
see, Cosmic Puzzle Piece just said it. Boom. She just watched it last night. Kids might downplay him on this one. They didn't show the Super Bowl or the trips to Africa and shit. Yeah, that's what I've been hearing. So I don't know. You feel me? I don't know. Yeah, the alchemist. That's right. He was right there. He was on the edge of talking about it, and then he just kind of, oh no, he was about to go in, and then he just, oh well, let me just stop. He gave a little bit though. He gave a little bit, but you know what I'm saying. And it kind of reminds you of. No, let me not even say that because then I don't want y'all even interpret that. But what Mike did was it's kind of like not saying Drake and Mike are the same, even though you know they try to tie each other into that energy. Drake fighting that you see, if he wasn't fighting it against Kendrick, then it'll be something. Because Kendrick is definitely a god, and we got to put some respect on Kendrick Lamar's name heavy. You feel me? But Drake fighting UMG, that's what Mike kind of was doing, fighting the man, fighting the system. And they kept on bombarding us with mind control with the programming TV saying, oh, he's taking kids and he's doing harm to kids. This nigga lighter than the kids. He weighed 87 pounds. The kids was way more than him. You don't think these kids were a big dog, that nigga? So we gotta understand that was see, and then even just see, look how deep that shit go. They throw out a random shit, a low vibrational shit. Oh, he PDF. Now all of a sudden your mind can attach to that, and they can just look. He has a kid right here. Look, what is he doing with these kids? Having fun with him and playing, or whatever, right? Or why is he entertaining kids at his home? Now all of a sudden your mind goes to, wait, why is this nigga doing that? You feel me? Meanwhile, he just being a host and show, you know what I'm saying, and showing whatever. So now you can believe me or not, but Mike didn't do none of that shit. And then this is the worst part. The kids come out and say, nah, he never touched me or then never did anything like that. And now all of a sudden our minds already went to a belief, the lie we're telling ourselves, that Mike is this. And now his energy completely gets destroyed. That's what I'm talking about, family. We got to understand that these people are creating. I even know some stuff on that David Wilcox dude. These people are creating ideas in the form of mind control to keep you at bay and to not tap into your power, your true power. Very important to understand that, family. I cannot make it up. Mind control is a heavy thing in this realm, and we got to move and understand how to defeat that and get out of that programming and get into our synchronization with our higher self communication.
Laws of attraction, however he went, it's a plus for us. He's out of the body. So if you know anything, what's the problem? What's all this scared of death shit? Fuck it. You know, they did us a favor. Which only then proves the Illuminati's working for us.
I mean, at the end of the day, you know, is WW.
So Michael Jackson being out the body, Brother Panic being out the body, there is all working for us. You feel me? Because at the same time, at the end of the day, we got to understand, like, cool, we don't die. We actually become more powerful, right? And we actually go back to another state of living, another idea of this thing we call living. But since we're so physical in nature and we trapped ourselves in the 12, we believe that this is all we have at times. Just based off of the time, right? But when you get out of the circles of time, then essentially past, present, and future is one thing, and you're just having experiences. So in the dream state, right, you don't know how you got to that particular scene or environment that you're in. You just, dream, boom, right? You're just in an environment. It's your higher self placing you in an idea of what you're dealing with right here, right now. So when you transition in the astral realms, you'll be able to create your environment like this. It's not like a continuous linear thing. It's more so, okay, I'm in this I'm changing into this reality right now, right? Based off of thought alone, based off of you being in light, which is information based off of you being consciously aware that you can do it. So you could create whatever masterful homes. You can be a white person in the astral realm. You can be a bird. You can fly. You can do whatever, right? Cool. So it's up to you to keep or become conscious, right? Or regain your consciousness down here and not be trapped into the human emotions, the chakra systems that keeps you a human, right? Even in death. So what happens is when you don't raise your sexual energy, your kundalini energy up to your Godhead, essentially you don't experience that consciousness on earth. And that consciousness on earth will transform into the consciousness you feel in the astral realms and beyond. So now you still got to ascend out of the astral realms. But if you can bring your consciousness, lucid dreaming, to the astral realms, essentially you can get out of that particular realm and ascend to the great by and by. But it's up to you to actually take back control of your mind. And majority of y'all are conscious, because if y'all can hear me, then y'all made it. It's just that, you know, sometimes we will play consciousness, right? And our human is still the running narrative of our show. It's not like we're not having a human experience. We are having a human experience, true indeed. But 90% of our reality and our understanding on this earth realm has to move with spiritual endeavors. The other 10% is your human reality, the human demiurge reality, paying your bills. That's the 10% tithe, paying, you know, picking up your kids, doing things in that particular nature. But if you're sitting there watching from, you should be able to see the spiritual gnosis in it while you're watching it. Even if you're watching love and hip hop, you should be able to see the spiritual energy signatures that's happening. So from yesterday, y'all go see From. The Hangman was all in there. I was like, oh shit, there it go. From season 4 is out. There's already episode 2. Y'all know what time it is, baby. Y'all know what time it is. Hold on, let's keep rolling. Let's see. Okay, let me see.
That's only teaching you about your humanity, or your human traits, or your human day-to-day drudgery. So most people got into this to get out of just their human day-to-day misery. They tried to find an alternative reality in consciousness. I knew how many times I knew there was something more. Now it is the forum for you and your human catastrophe. Oh, this one's going to do this. This one really means that. They're going to do this. Niggas argue you down about how they want it. I'm like, do you niggas want to go to these goddamn camps? This is the point. These niggas would be better off. You know what I'm saying? Some of these niggas would be better off. You know what I'm saying? There's 19-year-old niggas. My man Ty, who said, look, motherfucker, they already canceled the whole project. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? He's 19. You get what I'm saying? Master God. He said some of the shit. I'm like, God damn, I've seen niggas who've been lecturing for years who can't even come up with that concept. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Struggle to come up with that concept because they get it naturally. You know what I'm saying? Naturally. Most people are looking for the sad part of the story, which is in their human misery. Remember, the original intention is to look for this thing to come to a higher level, a higher understanding of some form of light. That's what it was for.
Okay, so a bigger aspect of what Panic is saying in that particular transmission is that you was born into a time where you were in the Piscean age and the Aquarius age. So in this Piscean age construct, this is the land of the belief believing in something outside of yourself, believing in your president, believing in the government, believing in a narrative called college, the white picket fence, or retire at 65, right? Cool. That's the Piscean age. You were born right between the Piscean and the Aquarius age. Now we're moving into the Aquarius, or now we're in the Aquarius age, the land of the knower, the land of the work, right? And these kids that was born in the 2000s and stuff like that, they're picking up on a different light code and a different transmission rather than being stuck in a narrative, in an old, outdated narrative. Now there's still residue of that, but as we go on further, and as all of us turn to 65, 75, 80, 90 even, we're going to see the young kids in that age group, right, being chaos beings naturally. So like, for instance, my kids, right, they're naturally just going to be in their form. It's just going to be light for them. One, because there's a few different, you can logically say, okay, these kids ain't going to church. Well, that's an energy there where the kids ain't buying this shit. You feel me? And then the energy is transforming them into another way of thinking about this reality rather than saying, okay, let me get a job and retire at 65. They might be like, oh, you know what I can do with my life? I could travel the world and do things for my own good and just pick up on experiences that way. So that's why you can see the combativeness in relationships, even because, again, what's happening is niggas is not trying to conform to an idea of a monogamous relationship, right? With wife, husband, house, white picket fence, family, retire. You feel me? Now these kids is like, shit, I can have multiple wives. Shit, I could just be single and do this thing. See, this is chaos. We're in the Aquarius age. We're moving into that state of mind. So you just been caught up in the Piscean and Aquarius age. And now you have to make it make sense in your mind why the energy is moving the way it is, and not to stay stuck in an outdated model that's going to definitely change by 2030. And it's changing now. Look at the AI. It's information everywhere. They're making everything quick. Nigga, this picture I made, I put this in AI. Hold on, let me show y'all real quick. This damn picture right here. I said, hey, use these images, and I put the text, and they just made it quick. Nigga, we used to have to be on Canva making all of this stuff. Look at the background. Look at the name. You feel me? I put this in goddamn Gemini, and it made it like that.
Message.
Tell you what it is, baby. I'm just telling you what it is. So now we're in 2026. Think about 2030. This shit is getting faster and faster. So that's just an idea, or this is just an example, right? The technology and how it's changing. That's just an example of where we're moving into. Soon enough, you're going to have robots as your sidekick, as your companion, as somebody that's doing your bidding. You think them kids are going to try to work a job until they 65 and retire at 65? Hell nah, boy. They going to have a whole different reality. Okay, I'll give you a great example. Perfect example. Perfect example. Boom. Remember when we was kids, we was watching whatever they had on TV. We didn't have a choice. We had a choice to change the channel, but that specific channel at that time had what it was on. So ABC, you know what I'm saying? TGI Fridays. What was the lineup? Family Matters, Full House, Step by step. Y'all remember 7 o'clock? Yeah, I know. Yeah. You feel me? That whole TGI Friday thing. Cool. Martin came on at 7 o'clock on UPN. The Jamie Foxx came on at 8 on UPN. Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. You had to, you watching your shows at the time. You had to be there at that time. Now, nigga, these kids can watch whatever the fuck they want to watch, listen to whatever they want to watch, listen to. This shit is over with.
Message.
What? I used to remember my Outkast CDs, like taking care of them hoes. I can't mess it. I don't want to scratch this CD. Hell no. Nah. I scratch this, I'm gonna mess up my jams. Now I just pick up my phone, put in Outkast. So that's a very, very important example to understand the reality we're going into and what we were born into that's actually manipulating our mind and trying to keep us in this old narrative. But we need to grow and expand because we chose to come down here at this time to transform out and to understand, the journey that we're walking into. Very, very important. And a lot of us came down here to help our families understand the new model that you're going into. It's a new model, and the new model is here. So it's just about you cultivating it for yourself and then telling your mama and them, like, look, you don't have to think that way no more. You can fast. You can skip breakfast. We don't have to eat 3 times a day. You can skip breakfast. Now it's becoming mainstream. Now that everybody's skipping breakfast and shit. Come on, dog. The world is changing. It's terraforming into something that's chaos, that's spiritual. That's the Aquarius age.
For the whole conscious thing. Just become another place to gripe, another place to just sit there and go, ugh. You know what I mean? Another thing, someone's telling you how many ways you can't do nothing. Mm-hmm. How many ways you can't do nothing. I'm telling you things you can do, things that I know personally have worked, and I said go for it and see what happens to you. You know, there's I got a list from here to the ceiling about motherfuckers who have done things and have gone to the next level, had many realizations. Many a realization. This is for years now. This is not new. I'm not just coming around with this. I've been teaching motherfuckers for years, and if even beyond the channeling, I don't even need to fly that motherfucking flag. If I really wanted to fly a flag around here, I'm an avid researcher. I researched like a motherfucker. So in terms going back to the show Improve, nigga, I am a researcher from head to ceiling. In fact, as you know, Rich, I was a lecturer first, and we stopped. What did we stop to do? To get down with the research. Please believe on some proof shit. I'll give you more books than you can read from now to the rest of the time we got left on planet Earth. Please believe that's the case. So proof, nigga, I'm the proof nigga. I am the study nigga. I am not only the study one book nigga, I'm the study 4, 5 books on the subject, to cross-reference, double-check, check the web, and bounce it off niggas who read books, the same books as well. Research is my shit. Channeling is a side effect of me getting busy with it. You feel what I'm saying? That's a side effect. That's a side effect. So that to say,
All right, shout out to Brother Panic. Shout out to Brother Panic. Rising in power to both of these goats. Rising in power to the 13 gods. Remember that 13 is you, family. That 13 is your Christ consciousness energy. That 13 is you being and thinking outside of the box, thinking outside of the circles of time, right? That's what the 13 is. You are outside of the circles of time. These brothers right now being in their 13 frequency, if they were still here on Earth, is not no coincidence. They both came into the fold this weekend. So we got to understand that to the core. You feel me? Got to understand that to the core. And the 13th floor is just about that. It's about breaking out of your reality, breaking out of your one-track mindedness, getting past the layers of this thing. You feel me? It's your state of awareness, which is the 13th floor. Y'all go watch this movie again, the 13th floor, because they even say some profound stuff. What the dude says, you're only in a, he says something profound, which broke the whole door. Now you can see past the illusion, whatever he said, right? Fire, nigga, real fire.
Message.
Yes, sir. Y'all go get these two books, Sync and Kenneth Grant, Outside the Circle of Time. Go get these books. And matter of fact, you can actually audible sync. You can audible sync how order emerges from chaos and sync, the universe, nature, and daily life. So essentially what it's saying is like, you know how the birds fly together, right? They're in a synchronization rhythm where they flying and you be like, oh, wow, they doing a lovely dance. That's them being in sync with their rhythm. You feel me? You can be in sync with your higher self.
Message.
You can be in sync. You are in sync. Well, you can be in sync with your higher self by doing the work, by putting in the work to slow down these brain waves, to slow down this human. Remember, synchronization is just notifications, spiritual notifications that you got to pay attention to. So that's what sync is. You'll see random things and you'll be like, oh, that's just a coincidence. Oh my God, okay, what the hell? No, again, God speaks to you in patterns. Your higher self speaks to you in patterns, not in the English language words, not in paragraphs, not in goddamn Spanish. It speaks to you in symbols and patterns. Now you have to be able to recognize in patterns for your good. Go get this book, Outside the Circles of Time, because this is a very powerful, profound book in explaining who you are divinely and you not being caught up in the web. You feel me? And this web is a construct of you being ensnared or stuck in this human form. You feel me? They even go deep into the spider and all of that, and then breaking into the 666 and all of that, you know, idea, which is 666 is the 9. He goes deep into this book. Let me see if I can divination something real quick. I got this whole thing highlighted, so don't play with your boy. Hold on. Hot. Oh, y'all can see it. I ran through this bitch. Keep on going. Whatever y'all want to do. I ran through this whole. It's a good book. It's good for your, what would you say, like your ego, I guess. It's good for your ego to understand some of these concepts and stuff. Very, very good. Talks about a whole bunch of different stuff. And what I'm going to do is, instead of y'all reading the books, I'm going to give y'all the plays.
Message.
This Wednesday, pull up to Wise Wednesday on the Patreon, 10 spiritually advanced ways to sync with your higher self. Pull up, and show out.
Sorry, bye.
Yes, sir, family. Let's see if y'all got any questions, baby. Let's see if y'all got any questions. Wait, Outside the Circle of Time looks like Spider-Man movie that's coming out. Oh shit, I gotta see it, Titus. I ain't seen it. You know what I seen? You know I seen I posted a community tab in the Patreon. That damn, what's his name? Nature Boy. Hell nah. Hold on. Let me see if I can find that nigga documentary. Disney got a documentary for Nature Boy. That's crazy. I said, what the hell is going on with the world? Hold on. Nature Boy Hulu. Okay, documentary. Nigga, that shit. I said, oh, boys ain't stopping. Now listen, y'all got to be able to pay attention to, like, you know what I'm saying, what they actually are doing, because they're doing something else with like Nature Boy was a piece of shit, right? And low vibrational entity for sure, right? But the way they're using his words is trying to, cultivate another narrative, if you will. I said, oh my God.
Want to know what I've been doing for the last 4 years? Was in a cult, man. Who am I?
Nature Boy.
Nature Boy.
Nature Boy.
We wanted to trust him in everything he did. He was king, he was God.
You know this is not how life's supposed to be.
He would preach, go into nature and get in tune with the planet.
It was clear you wanted to build the following.
Is this thing working? My inbox jam-packed with the one question: how do I join?
There were a ton of people coming from all over the world. It seemed like what he had was a utopia.
I was just super excited where Nature Boy is. That's where I'll find my truth.
I just got on the flight.
First 3 months were great. Waking up in paradise.
But who he became, it's like night and day.
I am your Messiah. You all bow to me.
They put out Nature Boy to be a criminal.
A cult leader.
Something was screaming at me no. But I ignored it.
Disrespect God and see what happens.
What in the world is going on here?
Ha, you feel me? They played with his words. Now he believed that he was the Messiah of them people. But some of the stuff that he was saying was like, I am God or whatever. Like, I say I am God. I ain't no cult leader though, nigga. You feel me? You feel me? So they put that energy on heavy. They posted that shit. I said, God damn.
Here.
There was brainwashing,
Mind manipulation.
It got to a point.
Now, he was doing some of this abusive shit. Fuck what y'all talking about. He was doing a lot of this abusive shit too. That's straight up. You feel me?
You no longer trust yourself. It's cult leader 101.
Who is your God?
You are Andre.
Then things started to escalate.
He separated the women and men. It was so scary.
You in captivity.
She was reported missing.
I am God.
I never imagined what it culminated into.
It comes with SWAT team.
Get on now. They breaking the door open. Don't shoot. Am God.
We were his play toys.
he had to be destroyed.
Nothing dies in nature.
Hell nah. Hulu picked that up and said, hey, we got to roll with it, baby. We got to roll with it. Hey, I'm just telling y'all what it is. That nigga, I was seeing all that shit when he was doing that, and I used to tell y'all this nigga goofy. Because again, you don't want nobody to follow you. You are just a servant of energy, of the ideas that comes to you. But don't follow me nowhere, nigga. Hell nah. This ain't no goddamn worshiping thing. The knower is following themselves, is following their higher self, not no goddamn dude that wants to keep his shirt off and shit and say, follow me to nature in Brazil or whatever the fuck they were at. God damn. Yes, sir, family. Yes, sir. I love and appreciate y'all, man. Love and appreciate y'all till Wednesday. Peace to the gods.